Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, this night looks beautiful on me. That in combination with the light, gorgeous. All right, so I just wanted to come up on here literally to just, make a statement. It is Wednesday, April 3rd, 11:56 p.m. I am looking for, okay, I just want to go ahead and show. Wednesday, April 3rd, 11:56 p.m. And I just wanted to make this a note on the final hour that my name is Shalice Matt. I've already shown you about, my address and things of that nature just to disprove a lot of claims that people have been stating against me. And one one of the most important ones is just that I am not a star seed, a chosen one, um, whatever it is that the people have been doing under the guise of allyship and trying to work with me and all that other kind of stuff. There have been a lot of there's so many unhealthy people in this world, and a lot of them definitely have moments of they walk in depression every single day. Every single day, if you see someone who literally happens to tell me that, or tell you, or anything of that nature, that I am a star seed or a collective or the divine situation, I thought for a while we all know how trends go, okay? We all know how trends go when it comes to a trending word on social media and things of that nature. And I don't quickly get up on trends like that anymore. Before, I like for a moment, for a very long period of time, there was the expression of cap. Oh, that's cap. I thought that cap meant, I thought the cap meant the opposite of what it was. Like, I literally asked people at a time when I was more social. I literally asked people on social media, it was on my Facebook, like what the meaning of cap is, because I wasn't sure, and I believe that I was misusing it. So, because I just had a feeling. I was like, I'm not sure I'm really using this correctly. Can somebody please verify? And I was just like, oh no, 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 it means something else. I was just like, good to know. Thank you. And I was just like, from there, I was like, yeah, I'm too old for this, and it's just not me. But there's there are certain kind of things that did become trending, like black girl magic, things of that nature. And I thought it was really awesome. I feel like there's magic in all of us. Plus, I grew up occasionally, for the most part, wearing like costumes, like being a black cat or being a witch, during for Halloween, things of that nature. I mean, besides, a princess here and there, or I was either like a black cat or a witch. I didn't need to be what is it, like a ballerina, because I was a ballerina, every other time, 364 days out of the entire year. So there wasn't no need for me to try to do a costume of that. I wanted to do something, else. It seemed very beautiful too, magical. I mean, they had Glinda. When I grew up, they had Glinda the Good Witch, and I was a child. Like I literally, before there was movies like The Craft, I was literally looking, and I had the movie, like the VHS, the complete VHS of The Wizard of Oz. It is now Thursday, April 4th, 12 a.m. But I wanted to go up on record and state, you know, what it is I am, contrary to what people are marketing me as, because it's one thing to be opportunistic and capitalistic. It's another thing to involve yourself into human trafficking and put it under the guise of religion. And as much as Black people really don't like the fact that I've been speaking out as much, I just really want to call it for what it is, because every day somebody becomes the age of 18, and I really don't want them to be. It's bad enough that they were conditioned by a parent or parental figure or their environment. More than likely, either another Black person or someone who is like a white person who loves cosplaying as like a messiah or a savior, something to that effect. So yeah, especially a lot of the Black people, because for a while, for a good while, Black people definitely like playing, like a Black messiah. But for like, within reason, like they like the praise and things of that nature. My whole point to this is just that for a while, for a very long time, while I was being, surveilled and having my life on social media without my permission, the Black community has been profiting off of my abuse and wanting me to be pushing an agenda as if I'm supposed to be some watered down version of God or some sort of martyr, which is even worse because people were expecting me to die over their own cause. And there's different things about religion that is to be respected. However, it was always based off on either always fables and folk tales, like, based off on somebody who has come and gone. Now, what's really corrupt and things that I'm working towards, I am just one woman, is that it is I've been going against the odds of so many Black people that have invested in over a decade of abuse that has been unnecessary, in which they wanted me to go ahead and be the strong Black woman and facilitate some kind of hope, that they can't themselves be the embodiment of fully. They pose, pretend, cosplay that that they're the strong person, but they really are looking over the shoulders and looking at other people who are like who they think are beneath them and things of that nature because they rather put all that fucking pressure on them and then try to feel like they can take it from here when it comes to everything else. They're the kind of person that would cheat on a marathon and would take like the shortcut on a marathon or like take a vehicle, something like that. They are that kind of person. And it's just like with the marathon, it's supposed to with the marathon, there are set rules. Like you're not supposed to do that, or else why do the marathon at all? It was just obviously somebody who wanted to win and be in a part of a community and not be the last person. Now, the fact that so many Black people within the state of New Jersey and just people within America, period, were comfortable with doing this to me and claiming it was all about money. This is where greed and ego comes in. And this is where the pathetic identity of these Black people are. And don't get it twisted because like I've mentioned this before. This is not me over here trying to glorify another race and then put down another one because I put everybody in a fucking hot seat and I try to allocate exactly where the responsibility goes in regards to the offenses that they've done and they continue to do. So ultimately, I've had enough of these Black people. And I really am, I'm saying it for what it is because I don't have, and I shouldn't have any fucking patience or compassion for anybody who has maliciously intended for me to seriously be murdered for a cause and for a come up, for people to up in my life or try to provoke me and mock me just to make themselves feel better. That right there just shows that it shows that they are pussy ass bitches. That these people are very insignificant, like basically these people are always beneath me. There's nothing in this moment or this time that will ever, redeem themselves to the point where they think that they can actually be better than me or equal to me. Because again, there was never a moment in my life where I would have considered doing that to somebody unprovoked or for anything that just really was just like unjust causes. Like, oh, for something superficial. Like, oh, well, she has this talent, but it's untapped. So let me go ahead and do this. Even though she's pursuing it, she's not pursuing it fast enough. So let me just do this to her. Oh, she's, oh, let's make some excuses. You might say, oh, well, she's lazy, but have you mentioned about the things you've done where you overburden me, where you've destroyed my property, where you talk behind my back, and just like a whole bunch of like cyclical things that have a whole bunch of like malicious things that you've done behind my back and you're still doing. You want to go ahead and try to talk down on me behind my back to other people and feel like it's okay for you to do so when the entire time it really just leaves an ugly outlook on you. Like, why did anybody give you a fucking platform, or why did anybody allow you to even speak at all? And why did anybody like these are like you have to really think about the character at the very end of the day of the people who allow this person to have the position that they had, allow this person to have the opportunities that they had, because it really just reveals exactly how dark and sinister and corrupt the other people's heart is. Like, yeah, we need to look at the person, the originator of the offenses, but we also need to think about the people who helped that said person and the people who continue to help said person, whether it's entertaining or not. A lot of you people either don't care or don't even realize that all this shit really comes back to you on your doorstep when people are really doing the fuck shit and you have no one to blame but yourselves, and you're really trying to point the finger at me, but every single time you do so there's multiple fingers being pointed at you. And one of the things that I heard the other day was is that people are thinking that supposedly I'm supposed to be racist in regards to calling you guys out because you wanted to go ahead and cosplay um I guess like specific white characteristics or white distinctions and Asian distinctions, and then either belittle them. Not just it's not about holding them accountable for the offenses that they've done historically, if they've redeemed themselves, not even redeemed themselves, but try to work towards it and things of that nature. But it's just like there was a lot of mind manipulation in regards to a lot of the fuck shit. And then on top of that, I do recall several tweets made. I remember one that really stands out was just that there's a black woman saying that she doesn't mind walking in front of a white person. She likes to walk in front of the white person so that way she can fart on them and so that they can smell her farts. And it was just like, wow, like you guys are wearing the blonde wigs and the blue eye contacts, and at the same time where you are I guess like smiling at them and trying to beguile them, you are also insulting them. That's why I called it love bombing. It wasn't like, oh, you were rocking aesthetics that you found pleasing to you, whether or not people liked it. And you were also still holding people accountable for the long-term offenses that's been happening, i.e., pulling us over based off on our the color of our skin or based off on not giving us fair justices, or how about the delayed not even no, excuse me, not the delayed but the unfair and inequitable mistreatments that you've been giving to the black community or just anybody that was dark skin of color, because it's not just about being black. It's there are dark skin or people of color who are Hispanic. There are there are dark skinned Hawaiian people. There are dark skinned Native Americans. There are dark skinned, I wouldn't say dark skinned Asians, but those like without them being interracial. But there's dark skinned Aborigines. There's dark skin of many cultures and ethnicities. And it just seems that you all wanted to try to be upset with me for calling you guys out for all the fuck shit that you guys have been trying to do. And yet at the same time, you wanted to go ahead and play victim. Like you weren't properly allocating the responsibilities on where people should be, trying to make up for all the defenses done. In fact, you were over here participating in it. Like you, of course, you didn't want to really go. I mean, sometimes you do talk about slavery, but faintly. You talk about oppression, but then black people, you were over here oppressing me, and you were oppressing me as you were sleeping in the same beds with the same people who've oppressed historically black people. So it's just like I gotta call a spade a spade. I really gotta call a spade a spade. And you guys did it so fucking much that of course I'm gonna say something and not be quiet about it as much as you guys want me to. I think that at the very end of it all, you all should be extremely ashamed of yourselves. But again, that takes some type of brain matter that you guys obviously don't have. A lot of you all don't have. So I'm not going to expect it or hold my breath at the very end of the day. That's really up to you. And whenever it is that you decide to go ahead and sit down and reflect on your bad choices that you've done, or your selfish, self-serving choices that you've done, especially if you decide to ever open up your mouth to talk in a way where it sounds like you are being unjustly, or anyone that you love are being like unjustly mistreated or unfairly harmed and mistreated. Like there's this redhead guy on TikTok that is definitely, he'll talk about everything else, in different countries and this, that, here, and the third. But when it comes to him, rubbing elbows, giving high fives, hey brother, or getting like little likes, and getting his his ass kick kissed, or his dick electronically, metaphorically sucked by people of color. He is over here also participating in, and it's a few redheads and redhead men, but it's like, you guys really do act like pick me's when it comes to the fact that you want to ally with the blacks that are been long-standing abusive and oppressive. It's so strange. It is. It really is strange. It's strange of all of you. It's really strange of all of you. But I wanted to just come up on here record and saying that I reject all comments about anybody trying to make me seem like I'm a star seed, or a collective, and things of that nature. Again, when I it was like Black Girl Magic. Okay, I found myself like magical, and I think there was also a moment where we called ourselves goddess and stuff like that, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a goddess. But like, no, at the very end of the day, I am just a human being who has literally been mistreated and harmed. And a lot of people have adopted into like a cult like mentality, and it is really hard for people with any common sense to really break out of that. I myself, somebody who is somebody who believes in God, but not to the extent, or definitely not to the measures of the way how Christianity is right now. Because there's different facets from the Bible that I do respect, and there's a lot that I don't. And I feel like that is a manipulative book that has been written and rewritten by people who are manipulative and abusive, really, because it talks about slavery, it talks about being it talks about slavery, bigamy, rape, and it was that kind of shit was just getting away with it. I like the Bible just for the multicultural blend that it had, because it reminded me of the foundation that I grew up in, where I grew up in a salable kind of family with different ethnicities, and there are different facets of that that I like and I admire. But as a whole, I do not appreciate that. I do not respect the Bible in its entirety. I do believe in God, because I believe that I feel like, but my version of God is definitely different than everybody else's version of God. There's different parts where I believe in do no intentional harm. No, excuse me. Do no initial harm, but take no shit. That's what I believe is like the universal lesson underneath like the Christian faith, to my understanding and interpretation of it. I just don't believe in, there's certain kind of rules in there that I just, I would contest, definitely. That's why I say I'm also a spiritual person. And there's so many people who are these Christian Nazis who have grown up in church and doing some really dark and evil and heinous things that go against, excuse me, that go against their the faiths that they pretend to have. Yeah. So there's things like the terror community and whatnot like that go ahead and say that, oh, they believe in God, and they believe in their religion too, and there's nothing wrong with that, because like I just said, like I believe in God, but I also like entertainment, which is like tarot and horoscopes, things of that nature. But I'm sorry, how I do with hair in my eyes. Got it. Nope, 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 no, we didn't. No, we did not. Okay, we'll get you. Oh, by we, I mean my eyes and my keen My keenness. Okay, I'm gonna have to see. Look at this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pardon me. I do have like a. Okay, sorry. All right. So apologies because I do be getting like eyelashes in my eye, and this is a. And this is a. And look, I have an eyelash literally right on my freaking mirror. This is long. Okay, pardon me. All right. All right. So yeah, where was I? All right. So I'm definitely gonna put this also on Facebook, and I'm going to be more vocal and out loud about all of this because I'm sorry, I'm wearing a skirt right now. Yeah, earlier today I was wearing these cute jeans. I was wearing my light blue jeans and I was wearing this cute little sweater, which I'm pretty sure so and so will try to pardon pardon me, will try to do her little competitive. Oh, I'm gonna try to just better than her. I'm just like, yo, this is really crazy and whacked out. Completely whacked out. I'm just so disgusted. Like I have to keep it a buck. Like just you know how again when slaves grew up within a very horrible environment, or even if children grow up in a horrible environment, or anybody grows up in a horrible environment, there's literally still stories about people within Africa who are either kidnapping and harming and maiming other people from visiting over in their town, in their country, harming other people, misdirecting their hate because the country is giving more advantages to the Americans that are either visiting or moving to Africa over the people who are the natural inhabitants of it. And it upsets them because they're not treated fairly. And it's that's pretty wild. That is really wild. That's something I have mentioned to you guys before about like when you move, like how do you think that's going to be? How do you think it's going to, affect you guys when you move overseas, thinking that oh, it's so horrible over here, and like when you move overseas, it's not just going to be the politicians; it's going to be the people too, and hmm, and sometimes the government works through people, so they will employ other people to do like their dirty work. You know what I'm saying? You'll find that out later if you haven't found it out already. But pardon me. I'm gonna take this out. I'm about to go to sleep. But yeah, I just I just I've obviously had enough. And I don't need to sugarcoat things around. Like why should I call you guys sweet, cuddly things like, oh, you're peaches, you're cream, you're a sweetheart, you're a teddy bear. I don't need to hold your hand because you're somebody who's been malicious to me. Okay. A lot of black people, and I'm not saying every black person, but like a lot of black people are inherently evil. And I've said that, but I've also provided the backup reasons for that. You can either be everybody has good and evil in them, but black people are inherently evil. And it's just like, are you pursuing the good evil or are you pursuing the bad evil? Now with the good evil, you're doing evil to stop bad evil. You're doing evil to because you've either been at an injustice or you've seen an injustice and you pursuing it, or you're having the good evil for your own boundaries to protect yourself from either one of those moments happening. For the evil, that is unprovoked, that is unjust, that is self-serving, that is dark, that is malicious, that is corrupt. And there's just a lot of history that ties in with that. Don't get it twisted. There's so much, again, there's good and evil within everybody. And it's just a lot of the monkey see, monkey do from what Black people do. It's a lot of monkey see, monkey do from outside of the Black community watching what Black people do. And Black people are inherently evil. So that's where I leave it at that. And right now I'm just seeing a lot of the darker evil. I'm seeing even with the people who are within the terror community act as if these are the people who are say that I'm in a pit and I need help, where I'm asking people literally for help and I'm asking people for justice. And you've seen me with your own fucking eyes that I am a hard worker. I am the person who's, have been doing it all in regards to just, holding my head up above water. I've been living on the up and up. I mean, this has been like naturally who I've been my entire life, contrary to what these people who have been, profiting off of me and abusing me and have made riches off of themselves. So if I'm actually, having, the obviously it's a healthy mindset for me to know when I've had enough, when I want to have somebody, if anybody will actually be able to assist me. And I've actually done the footwork. I went to I went to the authorities, I've went to court and things of that nature in order to find justice. And even them, they are not responsible enough or mature enough to actually do their fucking job. These are also corrupt people and black people too. So yeah, my whole point is that I am open, obviously, and I've asked for help for people to come to me with concrete evidence in regards to getting justice. Besides, so I can use it with the evidence that I have to attain justice if they are willing to, and not on some like I want to have that. I don't want to hear about you having feelings for me from your perverted place, from you watching me, because basically you're just a fan. You literally are just some creepy bozo that's literally having photos of me that you want to jerk off whenever you see my naked body at your own whim, or want to just hang up a picture or anything like that. You are a loser. You are a loser. There's nothing desirable or attractive about you. It's just nothing that doesn't do anything for me. That's like, I mean, men will fuck anything nowadays, and apparently, if a guy has enough money, women will too. But it's just like has nothing to do apparently with a person's character, or anything like that. But my point is just that if you will just think about it, if there was ever a moment or of your time where you were unattracted to somebody and you did not want to sleep with them, because a lot of people can't relate to a lot of people can't relate to that. A lot of people can't relate to me. And that's another reason why they don't like me, to put it plainly. But just imagine that, if you will. How do you feel about that? If somebody literally comes to you that you are just not attracted to at all, and they were just like, oh, well, I don't care. I just want to look at you. I want to touch you and things of that nature. You would be really offended and you just might either walk away. But if they don't try to allow you to walk away, then you would more than likely, protect yourself in whatever way is possible. And even though you guys are the punk ass bitches that have been watching me from, um, that have been watching me from platforms without my permission, you guys would think that you're safe and you're untouchable. So therefore, you continue to do whatever it is that you choose to do. But I have no respect for you. At the very end of the day, you'll say whatever it is that you want to, but that doesn't make me any more of your girlfriend or anything of that nature. No matter how many lies that you go ahead and tell everybody else, I'm not your girlfriend. I've been celibate for years, so like I don't belong to you. I don't want to belong to you. You guys are extremely perverted. You guys are disgusting, and you guys are off-putting. I'm better than you. Why would I ever? I've obviously made people who are like millionaires and billionaires off of just um off my motivation and off my hard work and everything of that nature. So why the fuck do you think that I would like belittle or reduce myself by hanging out or wanting to be with you or have an interest with you? You don't make it make sense. There's nothing to love. Some people will do some crazy things for love, but how would I love you? Why would I love you? That's so fucking stupid. That's not even Stockholm syndrome. That's like Stockholm syndrome paired with stupidity. That would be like something like where you just like you literally don't have a fucking brain. And at that point in time, what the kind of person is that? And considering that a lot of men right now just, go ahead and fuck anything, including and marry dolls, like yeah, I see that happening for them, but not for me. This is the state of the world right now. We have a lot of women who are deeply insecure, and we have a lot of women that are deeply insecure and willing to help the losers, because they fail to, just be an actual authentic, outstanding person. I literally had people at my workplace was on some fuck shit, trying to like, and trying to say like some sneak shit. And it's just like, y'all really are are really pathetic because y'all have been at this workplace for many, many years, longer than I have. And yet it took me and my outspokenness in order for you guys to finally fucking speak up. Or, I mean, not finally speak up, but like for you guys to finally go ahead and resolve a long standing situation of naming your building after a racist ass president. And prior to me even being there, you had like one black faculty assistant there, and then you also had a black dean there. Yet that still wasn't fucking enough for you guys to go ahead and change your fucking racist name. Like before you try to talk about mental health or anything of that nature, or you try to mock me, maybe you guys should try to reflect on y'all fucking selves. Like y'all hate me for more reasons though, and I would love to go ahead and take a moment to rip y'all a new one. But it's just like you guys are walking jokes every single fucking time. Every single fucking time. I never will in my life or in my days would want to go ahead and think that, we are equals where you can go ahead and try to belittle me because again, every single fucking day a lot of you bitches, really, you are on the group chats. You are over here being passive aggressive as fuck. You never say anything directly to me when you are offended by my existence. Okay, you always have to be that like that little passive aggressive punk ass bitch. You're not even poodle. Okay, you're not even Chihuahua. I feel like Chihuahuas and poodles literally have more fucking confidence than you bitches. You have to literally go into another room and bark, bitch. It's not even like behind a gate. Like you just y'all don't have those fucking chops. You don't have those fucking chops. Never ever. Never ever ever. And your fucking lives. You don't. So I really am finding it very coquettish to just kind of smile in certain people's faces and just kind of be like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, like, if you want to be about it, then definitely I can give it back to you. I can, and I do. I admire that stuff about me. But I find myself getting more into people's energy, um, and by getting people with more energy, I mean just kind of evaluating people because this was ultimately supposed to be a social experiment and punishment and weird form of torture for me for them to get their rocks off for me but instead I'm seeing you guys being tortured by just another day of me living, another day of me looking beautiful, another day for me just existing, another day for me opening my mouth and talking about you and just really calling you out for the stupid ass bitches that you are. It's another day. That really brings you guys torture. It really just destroys you bit by bit. And I'm also examining exactly how weak you are. And a lot of the things, again, it's the things that you're trying to do to me ultimately comes back onto you. It really does. It really, really fucking does. And who am I? I am a simple human being, but who am I not to delight in the fact that that win comes back to me too. So yeah, yeah. I was 33 minutes and 31 seconds, but I just that's pretty much it. I don't want to go on to it too much, but oh yeah, the whole pit thing, pit and tarot readers. I feel like because there's this old meme, not a meme scheme, this old photo where there's like a guy in a pit and there's another guy up above. You know, the only thing that the person in the pit can see is just the person's face and them holding out a hand, but they don't see that the person who's holding out their hand has a fucking ladder. And that's what I feel like the majority, if not all, of the tarot readers are. Because they have been wanting to push the agenda for me to believe or to believe that that they have the information in regards to help me, but the way how they talk and things of that nature, it just they want to try to sound mystical when they actually have the evidence, but maybe they can't say because as we can see and as you guys have seen with your own fucking eyes, that the government is really just a piece of shit. They really are. They have done nothing but just gone ahead and walked in not just mediocrity, but just walked in pathetic, like in a pathetic way. I have witnessed men with badges treat me as something that should be ridiculed. unjustly. People who have went to school, did the work to become judges, lawyers, wear the robes, bang the gavel, go to cases, you know, swear oaths um, to uphold a moral conduct and fail. I've witnessed that. I've witnessed that time and time again. These are grown, old ass men. And I've witnessed the youth really, like, laugh about that and smile about that and cheer and jeer about that. I've witnessed very jealous and insecure women laugh about that, try to compete with that. And then at the very end of the day, go suck a man's dick as a reward for a job well done because they decided to go ahead and go against a woman who didn't deserve to be harmed and stolen from, lied on, ridiculed, abused, mistreated, voyeured, publicly surveillanced, exploited, and trafficked. Grown ass people. I'm looking at this note here. It says shooting fish in a barrel, and it really gives. That's really what it is. You decided to use your manpower, your weapons, your title, your position, and your money to shoot fish in a barrel. What does that say about you as a country? What does that say about you as a department? That's what you wanted to use your money on. It just gives me the again. Whenever I see people of that position do some punk ass shit, it reminds me of the tactics used to destroy the Black Panther program, the Black Panther Party, when they had the Breakfast Club, when they had the lunch program for children. So what happened was just that there was a lot of lies and fallacies about the Black Panther Party organization to harm, intimidate people, and to make them seem like they were something that they weren't. As an organization, not individually. I'm not talking about the people individually who are definitely need to be who definitely need to be held accountable for their personal for their actions. But I'm talking about as the organization as a whole, like what its purpose was for when it had like the student lunches and the student programs to feed children who obviously could not afford it for like the families that couldn't afford it. It was a tactic in order to in addition to slandering that organization, they hired cops. Well, not just hired cops, they told cops and had them positioned in order to destroy everything that the organization had created. And I remember reading, and I think I read, yeah, I'm sure I read it to you guys in one of my videos where it was just like the cops before it was opening at nighttime, crept into one of the schools, into like or one of like the little programs and peed on the children's food. Peed on it. On the children's food. Disgusting. I'm pretty sure my food was tainted. I'm pretty sure it was. I know there's many times where my food has been messed with, but it's just like at a certain point in time, I that does not stop me from living. It's just that I'm really grossed out and disgusted more so by the people who thought that the shit is okay to who thought the shit was okay and expect me to befriend them or network with them or do business with them. Like that's I feel like that's more disgusting than people doing the disgusting things to my food. That you want me to go ahead and take the cruelty that's been happening and want me to go ahead and smile in your face and actually befriend you and not on like, like on some genuine shit, like you actually want me to befriend you. Not on some calculating shit because I think that we all have our ways considering exactly on how you're fucking with me. But it's just I'm talking about where you actually think that I want to be your friend or how you actually think that I would want to have anything to do with you when you know for damn well that you have been doing some horrible, horrendous, and horrific and traumatizing things to my life and believe with your stupid selfishness that that the customer service smile is actual that the customer service smile is actual genuine smile that I actually want to actually see you in my life. Like it's like how do you like it? How does it feel? For how many years that you've done this to me? How does it feel to have that situation turned back onto you? You guys are nothing. And as I see this whole YouTube thing being like messed with, that's something definitely I want to clock because I know for a fact that a lot of my content has been shadow banned, and so that's why I'm taking it to multiple platforms. Because even if I'm able to travel with my cell phone and go live publicly on YouTube, I don't want to just use YouTube because YouTube has shown on multiple occasions about how fucking corrupt that they are and self-serving that they are and elitist and how they've grouped up with the black community that has been going against me, okay, and has been using me and trafficking me and been capitalizing off of my efforts. And you can definitely see that in like some of the commercials that they play on how they are just really just selfish, self-serving, and capitalistic, extremely capitalistic. Yeah. But this video is titled "I'm Not a Starseed, I'm Not a Collective," things of that nature. But it's really crazy on how there are strangers trying to tell me exactly who I am or who I should be. They'd be like, "Oh no, no, like you're this because you embody this little alien green creature from planet Zector 956." Like, have any of you guys ever looked at any of those Scientology videos or those cult videos and things of that nature? Like, it is really, like I said, it is really hard once you watch those videos and things of that nature. It really puts in perspective about how crazy and wackadoo these people are. And like I said, a lot of these people are broken. And I'm not saying everybody, no. But they obviously have a childhood trauma and a childhood wound if they want to go ahead and try to force a belief onto somebody, okay, off on like an entire person. Not on themselves, but on an entire person that is alive and has and you've done nothing but try to force your beliefs and harm that person by any means necessary. And I want to share this video on other platforms. In fact, I should have done this also on I'm just going to download this video and put it on my Facebook because again, I really detest a lot of people and they have all and it's only the people who've done something with the goal and the intention of trying to harm me. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go. Um and whatever other kind of words that they want to try to try to tether towards Starseed or collective and things of that nature, add that in there too, okay? When I thought that this was just some type of trending thing to like, Black Girl Magic or, like a goddess, but like I don't, no, 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 no. And I think we all should also be very careful on what kind of trend we select or hop on because yeah, there's just certain kind of I mean, I don't even do those anymore anyway, but I think in the future for other people, you should be very careful about like what kind of trends, like popular hashtags. They don't even do hashtags anymore, but like popular things that people would do because it actually has like an ulterior let's see, not ulterior. They have ulterior motives, but it's just like it has an alternative meaning to what they actually advertise. There are hidden messages within those identities. Okay. I've only been like, I think, yeah, only Goddess and Black Girl Magic were like, I think, like, oh, and I think like the Divine Feminine. I really thought it was just something that they got from like a Mac Miller album, the Divine Feminine, and decided to just kind of like roll with that into something else, something and try to interpret it into something else. But no, It's actually when I researched exactly what the fuck was going on, or when I like stumbled across content about what was going on, I was like, oh my God, this is very scary because people are have an extremely warped mindset. And I'm really not trying to say this to offend them, except to the point where they believe that they should go ahead and try to except to the point where they are validating themselves for harming me. I'm not yeah, I 'Cause like when you think about how insane it is, you have to laugh at just like what? This person what? This land of what? This moon of what? This planet of what? Like what? Like this is what you believe? This is what that means? Oh my God. Oh my lord. Are you serious? This is what it means. This is what you're talking about. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's not me. I don't want that. That's not me. Nope. Take me out. That's not me. No, we're not doing this. And when you find out that, can you imagine having found out that people in a basement were practically just like, grouping together, trying to like include you in a fucking religion, you know, expecting you to be a fucking martyr. That's insane, bro. That is so fucking insane. That is gross upon so many fucking levels. So yeah, no, definitely not that. And I even seen people advertise that shit on TikTok. Like, are you a Starseed? Do you want to become one? Because then you're just having people really just try to like force you into moments of harm. Like, who would want to try to volunteer to live a hard ass life? That's insane. That is insane. That is really no. No. Who has lived their entire life to be fucking abused? Even Jesus himself had joy at some point, some authentic moments of joy. The fact that there are literally warped minded black people who have, come up with this concept, an idea, and also, but you slapped a white face on it to make it more marketable is horrible. It's disgusting. It's awful. It's horrendous. It's trash. Throw it in the trash. I don't that is just something that's just awful. When you really are using people in order to harm them, I have to just dismiss it because I can't respect it. It's like the Jim Jones thing. I can't respect that. I understand that that's your belief, but I just feel like that is extremely insane that you want to go ahead and try to oppress people, or you want to try to make people feel like they're oppressed, or that they have to be abused in order to justify why they're alone or why they have been like um, messed with or picked on. And then you find it okay for other people to go ahead and just like stockpile a lot of their misdirected hate. Like, no, fuck those people. Seriously, fuck those people. These are people that really need to be put down anyway. Those people, I'm not saying about the people who are, either becoming whatever that is or trying to adopt or considering adopting that belief. That is, I'm pretty sure making a whole, like, enough money. This shit is sick. This shit is extremely sick because I'm calling it for what it is. I'm calling it a buck. Like, yo, these people are really fucking sick and like twisted in the mind. Do not try to affiliate or tether me to some fucking spiritual belief or deity and things of that nature when I reject it. I say it with my mouth that I reject it. I've said a lot of plenty things, and you guys have tried to speak over me or try to say things that I obviously have not said or that I don't agree with. And that right there just shows on how self-serving and fucked up that you are and how fucked up your religion is. Okay? Like you can't sell that and make that shit seem like it's okay. I don't support that shit. I don't support that shit. And you know what's worse? It's just that I would literally say exactly how I feel, and then these people like they are so fucking warped in the mind that they're like, oh well, you just need, these are just the reason why this is happening is because so many energy. Like they can't. This is why people have so. This is why a lot of black people are just definitely in trouble when it comes to relationships because these people really just don't believe that they are deserving. Like they say it, but they don't move in it. Like they're the ones that stay stuck in horrible ass relationships and shit like that. And then they go ahead and project their standards, their living habits and situations onto me. These are pathetic people. I'm so serious. These are very pathetic people. And I wanted to go ahead and say that. I don't care if it's going to piss you off because you literally are from the group. You are from the group and the darkness of the people with low fucking morals and low fucking standards. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I don't have to stay stuck in that. Y'all been trying to like have me stay stuck and surrounded in that. And y'all may try to a lot of you guys might try to disguise yourself as wanting better for yourselves, while duping and manipulating people that, oh yeah, I want better for myself because look at what I got this material possessions. But yeah, but you got a shitty ass relationship. You hold yourself and do some shitty fucked up things behind the scenes. You pretend that you're actually a good person, but you're over here literally trying to put down somebody who is in her own lane. And I'm talking about myself. Like I'm in my own fucking lane, and yet you have just there's nothing provoked for you to want to try to compete or compare yourself saying, well, I'm better than her. Look at me, guys. Look at me. Like you're literally some yappy ass circus dog on a fucking ball. Like look at you as you're like on two fucking legs. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Like okay, if you'll literally do anything, you will you will tar and feather yourselves holding sparklers and suck a dick and be on your knees and riding a pogo stick on your knees or something like that. Just so you can get the attention, whether it's good or bad. And I'm just like, that is so fucking sad. It is. It's really extremely sad. And so how do you like why would you think that I would try to judge be mind like why would you think I would mind being judged by someone like that? And I also saw something on social media where people were going ahead to double down and support somebody. They said, well, the person had pointed it out. She's just like, these people from such and such town will double down and support me, even if, they don't agree with my lifestyle choices, but they will support me only because of their ego and they don't want to embarrass like the place where they're from. And I feel like that's really about like I feel like that's really on brand for Black people and for especially the city of Trenton, where you guys will allow yourselves to further fall deep into the sand pits of judgment because you don't want to look wrong. But the sad thing is that you are still looking wrong. You're just looking wrong and burying your own grave, pretty much. It is okay for you to enjoy tarot. It is okay for you to enjoy any religion as long as you are not trying to harm anyone. Or as long as you're not trying to, excuse me, as long as you're not trying to justify harming anyone for any unjust cause or purposes and for especially for material or immoral gains and values. Like that's not just. That's not just. You don't want to do the work. And the thing is that the people within, Trenton and New Jersey, like they really didn't have any excuse. It was just like, oh, you didn't want to live in poverty. Like everybody was living in poverty. If you wanted to see people that were living worse, you literally just, you turn on the news. You can literally go outside. There's people who are living more poor than you. And yet here you are with more money and things of that nature now, and yet you still have that poor mindset and you're over here really doing the most in order to be a fucking minus. There's no more excuses in order for all the bullshit that you've done. There's just witnessing your inferiority, your insecurity, and just how much of a fucking annoyance you are by just being again a cancer. You're always a cancer. Like just so infectious, in the worst of ways. Not like an infectious smile or an infectious bout of joy. You're just a horrible being that just does nothing but just take and destroy, and not even in a very productive kind of way. Yeah, yeah. I do appreciate anybody who's within the tarot community that actually happens to talk about, justice for me. Although it does seem very sparse. People are too busy trying to take my identity and characteristics in order to get likes and fucking um, likes and shit, and instead of actually advocating for me, which is wild. And yes, I've been putting that in my fucking notes because it needs to be said and it needs to be recorded and it needs to be shared at a later time, which I would do. But in the meantime, my name is Shalice Mapp, and I have been, unfortunately, for a very long time, um, trafficked, unbeknownst to me. And then once I did know, it was, people within the government system that decided to help and help the losers that wanted to harm me. And so here we are, where I am piece by piece, day by day, working against that and also just trying to live my life considering in the unjust way that I'm still being mistreated and abused. And the way how society is comfortable right now with allowing that shit to happen. And speaking of actually society, yesterday I got some really good content from my neighbor over there who enjoyed he is a hoot, I'm telling you, a hoot. He was doing something in order to try to I guess like irritate me and things of that nature. And I was just like, the initial thing that I was thinking of was let's get this on fucking video, let's get this on camera. And for some reason, I think that he thought I was going to get upset or something like that. And I was like, yo, let me get this down on fucking, let me get this recorded. This is supportive evidence. This is actually really good. I don't know what people be thinking nowadays. I'm just like, I've already, once I've figured you out and your mindset, it becomes a different shift. Like we're different. We're thinking on two different shifts here. We really are. So yeah, I guess you can't understand me well, but I can understand you. I can understand you well enough, and I'm studying you more and more as you are just only observing me and playing therapist and things of that nature. I'm gonna go. Good night.